What's up, everybody? Richard back today with another episode of The Warped Report. And today, we're going to be talking about some Billboard, not charting for a certain band that released an album last week. Tim Lambesis of 𝗧𝗛𝗘 is coming back with a new project. In addition to 𝗧𝗛𝗘 is still a thing, but he's doing another project. Rockville, the Welcome to Rockville, rather, the festival is doing something very interesting that I wanted to talk about. We got a couple tours to also chat about. We have a new signing to a company that I'm not really that familiar with, to be fair. And they're also going to round this out by talking about the brand new SLIPKNOT track. And also, before we do get into all that, I just wanted to share a little bit of personal news. So last Monday, my father was involved in a shooting. So last week when I did the show, I had just gotten home from the hospital, and, things were not looking too great. And throughout this week, things had slowly improved. And, this past Sunday, I got to speak to him on the phone for the first time because he was in, medically induced comas and whatnot. And, it's going to be a long recovery, but I think that he will make a full recovery eventually. Like I said, it's going to be a long, long road ahead. It was a gruesome shot, and unfortunately there was another victim in this, and they passed away. So, I made comments about this on my YouTube channel, so that's why, I was kind of inactive there. But you know what, man? We're here doing the Warped Report. We got to do this, bring the news each and every week. I think this is very, very important. And with that, we have a few stories and a track to go over. And for next week, we will be talking about the brand new Bullet for My Valentine record. I just haven't had a chance to listen to it, for the reasons I just described. I just haven't had a chance to dive into it yet. But let's dive on in now, shall we? So this first story, this one kind of pains me to talk about. So after last week we talked about Every Time I Die debuting in the top 50, Whitechapel failed to make the Billboard 200 chart for the first time since their debut. So they recently released Kin, their 8th studio album, and according to LAMBESIS here, Whitechapel managed 4,500 album equivalent units, 4,000 in pure sales in its first week of release in the United States, and the total was not enough for them to crack the top 200 of Billboard. And this was the first time since Whitechapel's first album in 2007. Sorry, I got tripped up on the words there. It did not make the chart. But however, there is a silver lining. They did manage to chart at number 34 on the top album sales and number 3 on the top hard rock album sales. So this is coming off of, their previous album, The Valley, sold nearly 6,000 copies and landed at 143 on Billboard. And that was the first time that they had not charted inside the top 75. But their most commercially successful album to date is Our Endless War from 2014. Sold more than 16,000 copies in its first week and bowed at number 16 on Billboard. And I think that's very interesting because, I'm a big fan of Whitechapel, obviously. And I love Our Endless War. I liked Kin. It's going to be very interesting to see the trajectory of the band. I don't know if... They don't really strike me as the type of band that's going to really, base their kind of music, what they want to do based off of Billboard charting or whatever. But, something could be said about, with time, maybe that they're going to be dropping further and further down. But then we just saw Every Time I Die chart at number, I think it was 46 or something like that. So it's very interesting, and as a big fan of Whitechapel, I want them to have all the success in the world. But yes, Whitechapel have failed to make the top 200 of Billboard for the first time since their debut. So not good, not good. But now we're going to go talk about 𝗧𝗛𝗘 vocalist Tim Lambesis is going to be launching a new project called Born Through Fire, and they're going to be releasing 2 new tracks on Friday, November 12th. Through Modern Empire. So Modern Empire, the label that has brought us, in the past, bands like Dealer, Degrader, Extortionist, bands like that. And yeah, so this project here is going to be featuring Wolves at the Gate guitarist Joey Alarcon. I almost always want to say Alicorn because of, but it's not obviously, but the words kind of trip me up a little bit. So it's Joey Alarcon, and they're going to be releasing 2 new tracks titled Reintroduction and Bone by Bone, Friday, November 12th. And then Tim here offers a description that was given to him by a friend of his that says, the best description of the material that I've heard from a close friend who has heard it. It's cinematic, heavy, and modern, but still has classic metal throwback elements at the same time. All right, well, that doesn't really tell us much. It's kind of like, a decent explanation for a lot of music these days, but I'm looking forward to it. It's very interesting that's out on Modern Empire. I did not expect that at all, but I am definitely going to be checking this out as soon as it drops. Born Through Fire, Shaped by Fire, Tim loves his fire, I guess. But hopefully it's good stuff, man. We're going to judge it fairly and appropriately. I know a lot of people still obviously have some ill feeling toward Tim, and, that is your prerogative, and I do not judge you one way or the other for that. I think that is up for everybody's own personal decision. But Born Through Fire, 2 new tracks coming this Friday, November 12th. Now, Welcome to Rockville live stream has been announced, and it will include SLIPKNOT, 𝗧𝗛𝗪, and Lamb of God. So the festival, Welcome to Rockville, will be taking place November, I believe it's 11th through the 14th. However, the festival here is going to be hosting some live stream dates on their Twitch channel. And they're going to be having, some bands on November 10th here as well. And then the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. And you'll see here, you look at Wednesday, November the 10th, you have bands such as Afterlife, Soft Spoken, Defy the Tyrant, The Dude, and the Noctambulent. That's an interesting name. And then Thursday, you obviously have a headline performance by SLIPKNOT. You have some Cypress Hill in there as well. Friday, Rob Zombie, Social Distortion, Chevelle, Pennywise, Beartooth, Ice Nine Kills, Butcher Babies, and more. Saturday, Disturbed, Stained, Lamb of God, The Offspring, Asking Alexandria, Atreyu, Fever 333, Sick Puppies. Wow, I have not seen that band name in a long time. And then on Sunday, you have Mudvayne, Dance Gavin Dance, Fire from the Gods, Anthrax, Code Orange. So I think this is really cool. I think this is a really cool idea. A lot of people are not going to be able to make the festival, for traveling purposes. And obviously there's, still some COVID hesitation, and rightfully so. So I think with having this available, this will allow the fans to enjoy it, from the comfort of Twitch. I think that'll be very, very cool. And it's a very innovative idea for Rockville here. And I think it'll get them a lot of numbers here on Twitch when you have performances, including those of SLIPKNOT, Rob Zombie, and Lamb of God. I think that is really, really cool. And, I wonder if this was part of part of the deal with these bands. Maybe they got a little bit of extra cash, for allowing them to do this. So everybody wins all around. Fans win, the festival wins, they'll get more attraction on Twitch, and the bands win because maybe they got a little bit of extra payday to go, be willing to put their performances on these streaming services such as Twitch. So, and it'll be cool too if they can take clips after and put them on YouTube. I think that is really a smart, innovative thing that Rockville is doing here. So, yeah, I'll definitely be watching. 100% I'll be watching. But next, Being as an Ocean, headline tour with Capstan, 1,000 Below, and Limbs. So Being as an Ocean, as you know, a out-of-line band. They're going to be going out to celebrate their 10th anniversary of their debut album, Dear God, with Capstan, 1,000 Below, and Limbs. And the tour will take place from January 12th through February the 6th. So make sure you grab your tickets to that. It's going to be an interesting show. You got some sad boy kind of music here with 1,000 Below, my good friends over there. And then Being as an Ocean, who just released a heck of a track that I thought was fantastic. So make sure you get your tickets to that. But also, Get your tickets to some King 810 Afterlife and Born Anew. They're going to be heading out to Europe on May the 7th through May the 28th. But yeah, this is gonna be headlined by King 810 Afterlife and Born Anew. And now this is really cool for Born Anew. This is a band that I think I've played with them in the past. They're a Modern Empire band, actually, speaking of Born Through Fire earlier in the show. And Born Anew, they're kind of one of those bands, man, that I think they've been waiting for that break, and this may be the one that they get, going out to Europe with King 810 and with Afterlife. But yeah, like I said, May 7th through May the 28th, you're going to be able to find that tour. But next up, we have I, the Breather. They signed with Pavement Entertainment. Now, I've never heard of Pavement Entertainment, but I've obviously heard of I, the Breather. My friend Nick Nocturnal is technically in the band. So, I, the Breather, they're a band that has released 3 albums to date. These are My Sins in 2010, Truth and Purpose in 2012, and Life Reaper in 2014. But they did disband in 2015 before making a recent comeback. They've released 2 singles since, and they've been fantastic. This band also features a friend of mine and guitar player Logan Young, who I believe there was a Lamb Goat post about him probably a couple months back now regarding his departure from Reflections. But yes, so these guys here, either Breathe, have signed with Pavement Entertainment because they're going to be releasing a new record due tentatively in spring of 2022. So be on the lookout for that. Their 2 tracks that they've released have been fantastic, including their most recent one, Brain Sick, which was, if you haven't heard it, that is a heck of a song. I highly recommend checking that out. But lastly, let's talk about Slipknot's new track, the Chapeltown Rag. Hopefully we'll be able to see this live at that Welcome to Rockville presentation on Twitch. So yeah, Slipknot has released a new song titled The Chapeltown Rag, produced by Joe Barresi, Avenged Sevenfold, Queens of the Stone Age. And, I thought this was a pretty cool song. I thought that this was definitely a little bit of mix of the old. I thought it was an okay track. I wasn't going crazy about it or anything like that, but it's always nice to hear some new Slipknot. And then also, Corey Taylor here, he commented on the Chapeltown Rag, remarking, "It's a Punisher, man. It's classic Slipknot and it's frenetic, but lyrically it's coming from a point of talking about the various manipulations that can happen when social media meets media itself, and the different ways that these manipulations can try to pull us in different directions, and the fact that we're all becoming addicts to it, which is very, very dangerous." Sean Sean Crayon Clown added, "Chapeltown Rag facilitates a sort of mindset that you're going to like. It's along the back burner side of things." So yeah, like I said, it was a heavy track. It was crazy, typical Slipknot fashion, but definitely had a mix of that old Slipknot that we've come to know and love over the years, such as like Iowa. I thought that the song kind of reminded me of stuff off of that record. But with that said, everybody, that does it for this week's episode of the Warped Report. What do you guys think of Whitechapel not charting on the top 200? Do you think that will influence them moving forward? Do you think that they're the type of band that doesn't really care? I'm of the opinion that I don't think they really care in terms of, I'm sure they care, obviously, for financial reasons, but I don't think they care in terms of musical decision-making. But did you buy the record, Kin? Have you been streaming any of the songs? You guys going to be checking out the new Born Through Fire tracks with, vocalist Tim Lambesis from As I Lay Dying. Welcome to Rockville. Are you going to be going to the festival? Are you going to watch it on Twitch? You're going to be going to either of the Being as an Ocean or King 810 headline tours. Are you excited for some new I, the Breather? I know I am personally. And did you check out the new Slipknot track? And if you did, what did you think of it? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. And I will see you next week with another episode of the Warped Report, where we will discuss the brand new Bullet for My Valentine record. Until the next one, peace.